Gotta let you dog me around. How many more years? Gotta let you dog me around. I'd rather be dead, sleeping way down in the ground. If I treat you right, you would believe what I said. If I treat you right, you would believe me what I said. You beg him to let him have your way. I'm going upstairs. Gonna bring down my clothes. I'm going upstairs. I'm gonna bring back down my clothes. Anyone asks about me, just tell them I walked out on. Yeah, dog me around. Always fun to start the day with some blues. Yeah, you can do anything on the blues. It's kind of cool. Play minor over major, play major over minor. And I always learn something new if I go for it. Cool. It's been a really nice little vacation from performing. I've been playing a lot. Did some recording over at David Ward's house. Just putting some tracks together. Did some recording with a couple of rock and roll musicians, and that's been really fun. Some really good players out there, and heard a really awesome recording of Joe Henderson and McCoy Tyner playing together with Jack DeJohnette on drums. It was incredible live performance. I think they were playing where were they playing? In Europe. I don't remember where. Been listening to a lot of live recordings lately. Those come into my feed, and it's amazing how many recordings of these jazz musicians that I've been listening to for years and years, I'm still discovering, new things. I just came across this really awesome video of Charles Mingus playing in Belgium. Never seen it before, and it's with one of my favorite bands where he had Jackie Byard on piano and Eric Dolphy playing sax. Oh, I see. It had this really nice color to it, almost like a Technicolor look to it. And I just saw in the description here that it was colorized. So I guess they did. To me, they did a good job of that. It looked really classic. But yeah, it was cool to see a nice restored image of Charles Mingus and that band playing when they were kind of at their height. When they really, yeah, Eric Dolphy was just an incredible saxophone player. Totally far out, but he knew exactly what he was doing. It had a very kind of sober vibration to him. Very organized in his kind of aggressive, chaotic approach. Let's see. I've been kind of going thinking about. I was at a party last night, and I felt like kind of of an idiot. Like I kept referencing books that I had read this year, and I felt like I was like, I don't know if that's trying to sound fancy or what, but I guess I've read a lot of books this year because I kept thinking about some of them. One that came up was the Sapiens Do, and it was mostly because I think we were talking about DNA testing. Sapiens Do is a kind of a book about the history of everything and everybody. One of those books. I kind of find those books relaxing to read or and to listen to. But this one was like someone was talking about the amount of Neanderthal DNA that is present in a lot of folks, and one of the things that he sort of put forward in that book was that there wasn't so much wars between Homo sapiens and Neanderthal as there was an intermingling to the point of basically just completely spreading out the genes to a point of meaninglessness. But anyway, just that everyone's spread. It's all spread very thin. But anyway, I was just thought it was funny to think about like a group of Homo sapiens coming on a group of Neanderthals and just going like, yeah, that's fine, close enough. She don't talk too much and she ain't much of a looker, but when I look in those eyes, I think she might be capable of love. Anyway, good book, Sapiens Folie à Deux. No, Sapiens à Deux, or Do, Part 2. Let's see. Good. Yeah, I'm sure some other books will come up. Let's see. What's some other ones that I was looking at? Oh yeah, one of them that was that I wanted to talk about that you may have not read. A really awesome book was written by my uncle, actually, and he was a huge Dashiell Hammett fan. He had written a book called Hammett, that was turned into a film. Um, Really good movie, interesting take on the genre, and I think it was a story about something that had happened to Hammett, or a kind of a fictionalized story about something that had actually happened to Hammett, Dashiell Hammett, who was a detective in San Francisco, and my uncle Joe Gores was a detective, a private detective in San Francisco. So he really saw a lot in common with he saw a lot in common with Dashiell Hammett, and so he wrote a book called Hammett. But then he also wrote this book called Spade and Archer that was a prequel to the Maltese Falcon. I hope I got that right. Yeah, it was Spade and Archer. You kind of get to see some of the things that didn't make a whole lot of sense in Maltese Falcon. You could kind of made sense when put through the lens of, given the story, the backstory that my uncle gave it, and he was really got the details right. Like he wrote in a I can't remember. I think they call it kind of expository writing. It's when you don't ever tell what anyone's thinking. Um, it's only a description of action, which translates really well to the screen, and probably one of the reasons that Dashiell Hammett's books were so often made into films, because they were just perfect for it. Dashiell Hammett didn't always write in that style. I noticed when some of the other stuff that I've read. He also wrote one of my favorite comedy duos of all time, The Thin Man, who was just a couple of well-to-do lushes that would like to do nothing more than just drink and look into each other's eyes all day, and they got brought off on these pesky missions to solve mysteries, but mostly they just wanted to drink and hang out. There's a great scene where he's just I think it's the day after Christmas, and they're completely hungover on the couch, and he's just got a little pellet gun, and he just starts shooting out the windows of their house. Just casual alcoholism of yesteryear. Beautiful. Um, yeah, but those books were written more in a style where you actually knew what people were thinking. He also never used in any of the of that series the of who was it, the Continental Op. I think that's what he was called. But oh no, that was earlier. That was anyway. Sam Spade. Then none of those books did he ever really. Did you ever really hear what he was thinking? And you also it never had any like supernatural stuff. But in some of the other books that he wrote, there was this kind of supernatural quality. So it was interesting to see him limit his writing style in those books to great effect. So anyway, yeah, Spade and Archer, Joe Gores. This year I saw a lot of movies. I think I already mentioned that Joker Folie à Deux was an incredibly strange head scratcher of a movie. Uh, Terrifier 2 will disturb me forever. I started to watch Escape from Dunamora after I checked out True Romance, and I wanted to see what Patricia Arquette was up to these days, and she's doing the show called Escape from Dunamora, which is really interesting thus far. And then one of the better movies I saw this year was a movie called Fair Play that was a kind of battle of the sexes that really had a lot of heart and thought put into it. And at points it's sort of unclear who's the good guy. They both make mistakes, but it's just a fascinating look at the sexes these days. And let's see. Anyway, so today, 2:00, we've got the usual suspects coming over. Actually, this ain't it. Who do we got coming over here? Wait. It's just going to be Patrick and Steve and me today. So let's reflect that, shall we? There it is. All right. So those have been really fun sessions to do every week. It feels good to put an hour of jazz music into the air, and some of the recordings seem to be getting better and better. Keep an eye out Wednesdays for my jazz guitar or guitar summit. It's not always going to be jazz guitar. I'm going to do some other stuff. Have some other folks come through and play some different things here soon. But yeah, the Guitar Summit Wednesdays have some great cast of characters coming through to play, and yeah. December 1st, come check out the jazz band Northwest Tempo at Mount Carmel. December 8th, the swing dance band Lynn Street Din. And we've been kind of branching out and playing some blues and playing some more groovy stuff. So come check that out. Great scene, great music, great food, great booze, really good sound, and a nice place to play. So come check that out. That's our monthly thing. December 15th, we're going to be playing some jazz down at Bethel, and that's with Northwest Tempo. Haven't heard a word on whether how public we're making this one, so moving on. And then we're going to be playing at the Adrift with Lynn Street Din. So I mentioned that I'd been rocking out with these guys. So yeah, let's check out some of that. This is we're just kind of getting some stuff together with recording and getting some songs written, some old songs learned, but having a lot of fun playing with these guys. Oops, that's the wrong banner. Let's see. So anyway, here, check out these tunes. It's a fun band so far. All right, so that's fun. Those guys sound great. They're brothers, so they've got this whole they got this whole thing going on. uh, they've got a whole bunch of songs that they've already put together, um, and so uh, yeah, all I have to do is just kind of come in there and bang out a beat, keep up with them, and there it is. It's pretty fun. Um, yeah, maybe I'll play some more of those guys here in a minute. Let's see. But let's see. Why don't we actually switch gears a little bit here? We'll do. I'll take you through a little guitar lesson. Is this the right thing? There it is. Is that gonna work? All right. I don't know if I can get close enough on here to actually see the parts. Can I zoom in? All right. Well, I don't know if that's gonna work. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the right size. Let's see. But the first four chords there, you've got A minor, D7, G major 7, and C major 7. So I think if you give yourself the limitation of just playing on the middle four strings, right? So we've got A minor there. Instead of that, just these four, right? To D7 here, right? G major 7, right? Which actually can be played as a B minor. Let's see. Let's do it like that. Yeah. So the G major 7 can be played as a B minor, right? Going to C major 7. So A minor, D7, G major 7, C major 7, right? And so by doing that, for one, you've kind of kept out bass notes that'll sort of muddy up your sound, right? You don't necessarily want that big fifth in the bass there when you're wanting to just fit in the mix. So A minor goes to D7, right? And then another thing you've kind of picked up here is that you can kind of really see how a minor chord works against a major chord, right? Here's G, here's G major 7, and here's G major 7 with the third in the bass, which is a nice sound because it leads you right to C, right? So just by giving yourself this little limitation, you've actually kind of brought all your tones a little closer together so they're not jumping around in pitch so much. Like say if I went like, right? Putting those high notes, taking those high and low notes out, the two E's, just fitting here in the middle. You give the bass player room to play down here, and you give the melody player room to play up in this range. So nice little sonic pocket for you. Okay. Right, next few chords, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, so you can just play that as a A minor chord, B7, and E minor, just on the middle strings. Right, so this is Autumn Leaves, D7. Here, I'll full screen that guy. Stick myself in the corner. Let's see. Yeah, so going on to the bridge, right, let's say F sharp minor 7 flat 5 right there. Right, back to me. Right, to a B7 flat 9. So same shape. B7 flat 9, that's a toughie. Let's see. Yeah, without the high string. Something like that. But, oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah. I think you just skip out the flat 9 basically. Little 3-note chord there to E minor. Right, and then A minor, D7 to right. So just sticking with those middle strings, you give a nice sonic pocket for everybody, and you leave yourself a different string to play on when you're actually playing a melody. You know, so right, when you jump up to that E string, and now in the melody you're really poking out. Right, and then you leave that string alone when you're doing the chording. Give your soloist that room. Move on to the bridge. So, yeah, give yourself limitations when you play. Really can actually expand your horizons in ways that you may not be able to predict. And so I like that. I like giving myself little surprises when I practice and when I play and when I'm because I like to surprise myself when I'm taking a solo and. Yeah, I like to be, when I'm improvising, I like to try and really genuinely improvise. So that's one of the things that's helped me do it is putting little limitations for myself. So anyway, hope you got something out of today, and I hope you have a great Monday and a great week. Take it easy.